Hello, I'm Nidhi Kumar and welcome to the show. Today's conversation will be on cancer chemoprevention by small molecules, bench to bedside. The discussion will be aimed at highlighting the importance of cancer prevention by small molecules, challenges in the field of cancer chemoprevention, and recent advancements in cancer prevention. Cancer begins when healthy cells change and grow uncontrollably. This forms a mass called a tumor. The process of a healthy cell becoming a cancerous one usually takes years, and many genetic, dietary, and lifestyle factors such as smoking may influence this process. Our first panelist today is Professor Rana Pratap Singh, a personality who has made a significant scientific contribution in cancer chemopreventive drug discovery for more than last 2 decades. Professor Singh is Professor of Cancer Biology at SLS and serving as Rector 3 JNU. Welcome, Professor Singh, to the program. Namaste.
Namaste.
Our second speaker is Professor Alok C. Bharti. Professor Bharti is Professor of Molecular Oncology at Department of Zoology, Delhi University. He did his MSc at DU and PhD at BHU and his postdoc at MD Anderson Cancer Center, Houston, USA. Welcome to the program. Namaste. My first question would be to you, sir. I would like to hear from you, Professor Rana, what is chemoprevention?
If we look at the word chemoprevention, and it is also associated with cancer, so basically we have three words here: cancer, chemo, prevention. So chemoprevention word, actually it is there to have a chemical which is either synthetic or natural, and its role is going to be for either preventing or inhibiting or suppressing the growth of cancer development. So that is a basic definition of cancer chemoprevention. Now, when we are talking about cancer chemoprevention, then prevention only we can apply when we know what has to be prevented and how it has to be prevented. So in this respect, we need to know what are the risk factors which cause cancer, and then we can try to plan the strategies how to prevent us from getting exposed to those risk factors.
People often kind of understand chemoprevention as something to do with chemotherapy. Both are totally different, is what I'm asking again.
You are right, absolutely right. In chemotherapy, the basic aim is to develop a drug that is called as chemotherapeutic drug, which kills the cancer cell. Whereas in case of chemoprevention, the main aim is to either prevent or suppress or reverse the process of cancer development. So there is a basic difference, and that is what usually we see when there is a chemotherapy going on in the patient. We often find that there is a lot of side effects of chemotherapy, and that happens because most of the chemotherapeutic drugs, they are not able to differentiate between the cancer cells and the normal cells. That is why in the process of chemotherapy, normal cells, they also die, and several complications arise because of that.
And this is incidentally very, very important information that must be conveyed to the masses. What you're saying, that for chemotherapy, in the process, normal cells also die. And to prevent that, we must resort to means like chemoprevention. In India, at least in the next few decades, I'm sure cancer is going to become something like diabetes or something very, very simple, and that hype around it is going to be totally eradicated. Now, I want to ask you, sir, if we talk of chemoprevention, what are the ways in which chemoprevention is used? Primary, secondary, tertiary? Can you please explain?
Yeah. I think this is very important to understand that chemo prevention is a very broad word. It can be further, classified into, different terms like primary prevention. And as the word says, this is a prevention which is to be carried out at a individual level where the person is not suffering from any disease. So they are being medicated to prevent the onset of the disease. On the other hand, there is a secondary prevention where there are some signs and symptoms of a disease have already occurred, and then you are applying some chemicals or substances or pharmacological entities to prevent the further growth of the disease. And tertiary is a very, very, at the sort of a late stage resortment where most of the time the disease is very well visible. Advanced, and then you are applying these substances to either retard it and to some extent maybe reversal or whatever, so that the disease do not go out of control.
But if you suggest primary level, are you suggesting that children, or from what age are you suggesting primary intervention and chemo prevention?
So we should understand that, leaving apart some of the childhood cancers, cancer itself is a very late stage disease. So as the mortality rate or the overall life expectancy of human beings, especially when we talk about Indian population, this is increasing. At the independence, we were around 28 years of life expectancy, but now it has gone beyond 65 years. Now average life expectancy is more. So we expect that cancer cases are going to rise in our population. But at the same time, when we talk about chemo prevention, these approaches will be very helpful right from the beginning, right from the childhood. If we actually have a healthy lifestyle, we have good habits of good food habits, so we can certainly prevent the disease right from the beginning, and that is what primary prevention is.
यहीं पे हम लेते हैं एक छोटा सा ब्रेक. आप कहीं मत जाइएगा, देखते रहिए हमारा खास प्रोग्राम ऑन कीमो प्रिवेंशन.
Hi guys, I'm Ritik Roshan. India is looking for innovative students like the students from Super 30. From class 6 to 10th through the annual Inspire Awards, Manak competition, organized by the National Innovation Foundation and the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. I encourage all of you to participate by sending in your original creative and innovative ideas in science and technology. Support Manak. Million minds augmenting national aspiration and knowledge.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. You're watching a special program on chemo prevention, especially in cancer. My question to you, sir, is now what made you join this field of cancer chemo prevention? Why did you, go ahead with choosing this? What kind of possibilities of research, should I say, did you seem to see in it?
I will go a little bit back why I got interested in this field of research. When I joined my MSc program in JNU School of Life Sciences, then I found a laboratory which has initiated the program on cancer chemo prevention. Then when I was reading the literature, I found that in United States, in 1970, it is actually 71. That time the cancer incidence, it become second, and also in terms of death overall. Then their leaders were thinking that there is no drug for cancer treatment. Then under that, United States is the first country which made a law in their Congress, which we have here in the Parliament, to fight against cancer. Under that, they established National Cancer Institute in 1971, and under that, separate budget was allocated to only do cancer research. 71 till 93, when I came in my research program, so during this time, I found that a lot of research has been done, billions of dollars have been spent, but still we don't have even a single drug which we can say that it can cure cancer. Then I got interested in the other strategy, that is cancer chemoprevention. Now we know that development of cancer, it does not happen overnight. It takes 10 years to 20 years to 30 years to develop. Sometimes even we may have cancer, but our death may not be because of cancer, something else. So it takes long time to grow. This tells that we have a large window of opportunity to intervene the cancer. And here, if we know that a person is having cancer which is at very early stage, then this strategy is going to work better, chemoprevention. So in that process, I got interested to see how we can devise different strategy, including these phytochemicals or small molecules, which can delay the onset or occurrence or the progress of cancer, because even still we don't have any drug which we can say that this is a bullet drug you give and cancer is cured.
Absolutely. And on that note, I'd like to ask you, sir. He said about molecules and how they can target cancer. Could you please elaborate on that?
Primarily, whenever we have a disease, we tend to have some medicine, and all these medicines are basically molecules. And when we talk about small molecules, these are basically very typically very smaller in size, but at the same time highly effective. Effective in the sense that they, when we say small molecule inhibitors, so they have a tendency to target very important critical players of or molecules which are working in the cell for cellular day-to-day functions. So these molecules go and hit these important working molecules, and they alter the physiology of the cell.
I'd like you now, sir, to elaborate on this further and tell us about diet-related, chemoprevention, because like they say, turmeric is very good for the entire Indian population, and how many of us can benefit by having it. But we also know that in India, however much we talk about food and about diet and about diet related things, all of us know plants are very healthy to eat, and we all know that certain leafy vegetables and fruits are very good for us, but we do not adhere to that. We basically have starch as a nation. What would you advise? What are these agents, and in what all products in the house can a common man access them?
So related to diet, there are components which we can say some portion of the diet it is for the energy, and some portion of the diet is having special constituents or chemicals which is required for our other bodily functions. So that is the nutritive and non-nutritive components. So in non-nutritive components, which are mostly the secondary metabolites of the plants, they have very strong efficacy in affecting several biological processes in the human cells. So those are the non-nutritive chemicals on which we are focusing as a cancer chemopreventive agent. And there are plenty of the research which have been done so far. And if we look at the literature, most of the research have reached, and also evidence has been generated in the animal models how effective they are. So if the next level of research is going to happen, then we have also a human clinical trial data that how these non-nutritive components in our diet, they are going to help in prevention of the diseases including cancer.
But sir, can you tell me what are the agents, say in turmeric, that help? What are the other agents that we must have on a daily basis? Whether it is turmeric in milk, what kind of solubility do you see that?
So when we talk about turmeric as a very important standard example, everybody I think now are aware how useful turmeric is. But turmeric itself has a lot of different kind of compounds in it, and over 200 bioactive molecules are known to have, and then you can categorize them into broad categories.
In the villages in India, for example,
Yeah.
you have it with milk.
Yeah.
That is
so
a-
milk, as we all know, that it is both this as lipids or fat as well as water. So when we talk about turmeric, so it has both kind of bioactive molecules, one which solubilize in fat and one which solubilize in water.
Which other component do you feel is important in our food products?
So when we talk about other items, when we specifically should look very precisely the spices that we are using. In fact, the spices are the richest source of nutraceuticals. And if you talk about ginger, there is a gingerol is there, and then there is the anise, and then you can talk about cardamom. So all these spices that we are using, they have all having
Chemopreventive benefits.
They have very important bioactive molecules, and most of them have a chemopreventive action, if not all.
Is cancer a genetic disease, sir?
When we look at the data related to this, it suggests that only 5 to 10% of the maximum cases which have been reported so far, that could be genetic. It means it is inherited from one generation to another generation. In other words, almost 90% cancer, it happens because of our exposure to the environmental factors or maybe our internal environmental factors. So here it becomes very important to look at the causative factors. When I say that almost 85 to 90%, it is the environmental factor which is causing cancer. It means if we know those factors, then we can devise a strategy how to protect ourselves from those factors. For example, if I try to classify those risk factors, simply it could be physical, other one could be chemical, and the third one could be biological.
And we'll talk about this, पर यहीं पे हम लेते हैं एक छोटा सा ब्रेक. आप कहीं मत जाइएगा, देखते रहिए हमारा खास प्रोग्राम ऑन कैंसर कीमो प्रिवेंशन.
Hi guys, I'm Ritik Roshan. India is looking for innovative students like the students from Super 30. From class 6 to 10th through the annual Inspire Awards, Manak competition, organized by the National Innovation Foundation and the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. I encourage all of you to participate by sending in your original creative and innovative ideas in science and technology. Support Manak. Million minds augmenting national aspiration and knowledge.
India Science is an internet-based science TV channel initiated by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, implemented and managed by Vigyan Prasar. India Science on the URL www.indiascience.in is a bilingual channel with content in Hindi and English. It can be accessed on any internet-enabled device. This video platform is dedicated to science and technology knowledge dissemination with a strong commitment to spreading scientific awareness, especially with Indian perspectives, ethos and cultural context. The India Science mobile app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Welcome back. You're watching a special program on cancer chemo prevention. Professor Singh, just before we went for the break, we were talking about diet-related changes and how they can affect chemo prevention. I would like to ask you, what about the pesticides found in various eating products these days? You know, the level of pesticides and what needs to be done to kind of rule out those incidents.
So related to pesticide and cancer, there are evidences that pesticides are carcinogenic. It means they can cause DNA damage and convert normal cells into cancer cells. That is very well known. So this problem is very genuine and real. So awareness is very important to the farmers that along with increasing the productivity of their crop, they should also look at the health aspect of whatever the grains or the produce they are having in their field by using these insecticides and pesticides.
We need to ban the use of pesticides
Yes.
everywhere so that cancer is prevented.
You are right.
Professor Bharati, I would like to ask you here, we often hear about clinical trials. So how important are clinical trials and what are the clinical trials that you have been doing if chemoprevention is to be brought about?
So clinical trials are ways to get a scientific evidence how these whatever molecule, whether it's a chemopreventive molecule or any drug, whether they are effective or not and they're safe or not. So these clinical trials usually are in different phases depending upon what is the magnitude. So cancer chemoprevention also undergoes a similar kind of clinical trial, and there has been instances where they have been proved useful. The major bottleneck with these clinical trials is since the molecules are coming from nature, so they are not synthetic molecules as the other drugs, so they are usually cheap and they're easily available. And when they're cheap and they're easily available, the patents and the intellectual property rights are the ones they cannot protect it. And because of all these things, there's a less of a market value. And whenever we conduct a very successful clinical trial, first of all, clinical trials are very expensive to conduct, so nobody wants to invest money in those clinical trials per se. But even in special cases, particularly Indian government, Department of Science and Technology, ICMR puts a lot of money to conduct the clinical trials, and these have been quite successful also.
Yes, absolutely. So we would request with a lot of awareness programs and dialogue happening that more people come and patent this drug so that cancer is wiped out from India at least. So what is your vision of, chemo prevention in the next 20 years or in the next, decade?
So my vision for cancer chemoprevention is very bright in next 20 years or so. The reason is that cancer is such a disease, if we say that it can be wiped out, so it is going to happen less likely because of its biological nature. As we are aging beyond 40 years of age, there are some cells which are trying to resist the aging process, and in that process they may get converted into the cancer cells. So this is an inherent property of a cell to survive. So this is a chronic disease, and as I said earlier that it takes long time to develop. So we are not having any effective chemotherapeutic agent, or even if the patients are going for radiotherapy, there even we find it is not very effective, although survival is increased for few months or sometimes, but ultimately it is not going to be the cure for the cancer. So in these situations, I see that chemopreventive strategy is going to have a very bright future, and the way currently we are managing diabetes, for that also we don't have any cure. Many heart diseases or cardiovascular diseases, many neurological diseases, we are just maintaining that. So like this, we are also going to maintain cancer, and hopefully the cancer is not going to be the cause of death in the near future.
And on that very pragmatic note, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us today in this very interesting conversation. And to all our viewers, cancer mortality rate is very high in India. 7.85 million deaths in India every 4 seconds. Let us together fight this deadly disease with chemoprevention. That's all for today. Don't forget to share your feedback on the given email ID. Namaskar and thank you for watching.